Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Iwing Marketplace Chit Chat, where we give the opportunities for entrepreneurs to talk about themselves and what they do. Today, we are with a very, very powerful and beautiful lady who is doing an amazing job back home, encouraging young entrepreneurs to scale their business. Thanks for joining us, Shirley Munjah.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure being here.
It's really great to have you as well. And you're doing an amazing job back home with Shirley Show. Please introduce yourself and tell us the inspiration behind Shirley Show. Our Shirlma Show. How did it all started?
Okay. Then, first of all, I just want to say thank you. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and I must say you're doing an amazing job. And just to also make you understand that you've actually been part of the support system, right, that we have when it comes to the Shirlma Show. So that said, my name is Shirley Munjah, and I'm the founder and the host of the Shirlma Show. So the Shirlma Show is basically an entrepreneurial platform that is out to encourage investors to invest in Africa, encourage and assist startups flourish and motivate you. So literally, that's like our overall vision. Now, how do we do it? So basically, every year, what we've been known for is really been what we call the Sherman Life Audience Show, right? And the Sherman Life Audience Show basically is centered around having a one-day celebration. You can put it that way, right? A one-day celebration of entrepreneurs. But before this one day, right, you actually have a series of activities that happen. Now, part some of the activities that happen before this day include we call on contestants that we feel maybe need some money to be able to kind of like enrich their businesses or go further. We ask them to register on our platform, right, on our website. When they register, we actually train them, give them a 2 days workshop. And I just want to say that there are a lot of things that maybe we are known for. We're known for like, okay, maybe we give people money. But to me, this is really at the heart of it all, this training, right? And Ivan, you've actually been part of this training, just to say thank you for that, right? So when after this training, we then select five contestants who are going to pitch in front of an audience, right? And during the Z day, let's just say on the Z day, these five contestants get to pitch in front of an audience. But in addition to the business pitch competition, we also have speakers that we call to be able to also talk to the audience, those that are present in the room, in addition to entertainment. So we mix it with entertainment, and it's really a good opportunity for networking. It's also a good opportunity where people actually come to learn, and even the business speech itself is a good learning opportunity for those that are in the room, literally. So overall, we actually exist to be able to encourage African investors invest home, assist startups flourish and motivate youth, right? And the inspiration behind this, as you asked, basically came from the fact that, so I am actually a chartered accountant by profession, but when I was trying to actually look for maybe a middle ground, right, between my what I studied in school and what I am passionate about, which is communication, right, the middle ground seemed to me like a show. And now, if I want to get into a show, given my knowledge, then it just kind of like it felt appropriate to start an entrepreneurial show. In order to start the entrepreneurial show, I met a couple of so throughout my career, I met a couple of Africans, right, out there working. And basically, when I ask them, why don't you want to invest home? They often they often tell me, it's not like, they often tell me that they've tried one or two investments and apparently there are very few good people that they can trust. It's like you need to be present in order to invest in your businesses, right? But each time when I come home, I always see like these entrepreneurs that they have interesting projects that I feel I actually investable. So my goal now with the Shirlma Show, right, had always been like, okay, if I'm to do an entrepreneurship show, Why don't I then connect these people that want to invest back home with these wonderful ideas that are already existing? And that is how we actually came about with the Shirlma Show.
Wow, this is a beautiful idea that you've brought. And then you mentioned I've been part of the show. I mean,
You have been.
I've had that opportunity to facilitate the marketing session. I think that's like 3 years back. Wow. And I was very amazed with the level, and the participants were all, very serious and dedicated to change their life. That's when I knew, like, we need to talk about this someday on Iwing Marketplace. So many other people can discover this amazing thing that you're doing. And this is the 15th edition coming soon, right?
Yeah, this is the 15th
Let
edition.
me play this video about the advertisement of the 15th.
In our last edition, we dared to make bold moves for business growth, and you showed up, ready to learn, connect, and transform. Now, it's time to take the next step at the 15th edition of the Shirlma Life Audience Show. We're bringing together the voices that shape Cameroon's business future, from unlocking investment potential to understanding the Cameroonian entrepreneur, from leadership lessons at the top to the real wins and mistakes of investors in Africa. This is where ideas meet action, where partnerships are born, and where the future is built. The Shirlma Live Audience Show, a place where we encourage investors to invest at home, help startups.
This is amazing. I mean, everything is carefully done. The videos, the event hall, the presentation there, it's very inspiring. It's very inspiring.
Thank
So
you.
how are you able, like, real quick, with 30 seconds or 1 minute, how are you able to put this together? I mean, it's a lot of work, and I mean, tell us.
That's a good question, right? That's a good question because if you're looking at Shirley, then obviously it's impossible. I'll be honest with you. If it's about Shirley putting up that kind of show, it's totally impossible. But if we're looking at the community that has been able to accept this vision, then it becomes possible. So the only reason why we're able to put up a show like that is because we have a lot of people in the community that have made it the point of so that they have taken this, they have embraced the vision of the Shirlma Show. They've decided that they're going to be part of this vision. So what they do is that they actually get to contribute their own little cent. Just like what you did for the training, that's part of the contribution. We have almost every time when we organize the training, we beg people like you, right, to come and train these entrepreneurs because you are an expert in that field. So we have a lot of people. The speakers that we bring, these are people that are so experienced. If I had to go and maybe pay these people and tell them to come for the Shirlma Show, then it might be very maybe not possible to have an event like this. But we have a lot of good people out there that are always willing to lend a supporting hand. Even when we talk about the 10 million, so a lot of people after the show, they start calling me, right? They're like, okay, Shirley, this, they feel like, but to be honest, this is money that actually we put together. I take it from, I just act like someone that is intervening, right? These are partners that put their money together and we have to actually invest them. Someone to be known that, okay, yeah, I'm part of the group of people that put money, but some actually want to you don't want to be known. So I keep it that way. But the truth is that honestly, it's a community project. I always say that the Shirlma Show is a community project. So Ivan, the reason why we're able to put the Shirlma Show together is because the community has been able to embrace it. And the Shirlma Show is really for us. And you've been one of them, right?
That's
You've been,
wonderful. That's wonderful.
yeah.
Getting sponsors, I mean, how are you able to get sponsors from, like, Orange and big organizations?
Yeah, so the beautiful thing is that right, what I would tell a lot of people is that right, It's about consistency, right? Because it's not like we went to Orange maybe within the first seasons, right? There are some organizations that we've been able to go there. I can tell you that there are some organizations that we've gone there even like let me say 6 times, and they've never sponsored, right? But sometimes when people see the consistency of what you're doing, then they get to support. So I want to say that an organization like Orange being able to sponsor us just goes to showcase, right, their interest in the community. Because to be honest, this is actually a community project. At the end of the day, if one entrepreneur, like most of the entrepreneurs now that we sponsor through the Shirlma Show, these people are employing a good number of people. We have entrepreneurs that when they came to the Shirlma Show sometimes back, they had just like one employee. There are some of them that were the only ones actually working in the company. But today, you have entrepreneurs that have been able to employ 10 people already. You have some that are employing 5 people. This is actually kind of like contributing to the value of it. It's actually empowering also the economy. So I think when organizations like that are able to see the impact that such an event can have, provided you're sincere, because I also want to emphasize on this, right? Because we also have a lot of initiatives that come up, right, with the aim of supporting people, and maybe sometimes that's not really the goal. If you want to do this kind of stuff with the aim of kind of like enriching yourself, then you'll be discouraged at the beginning, right? But if you're doing this with the aim of empowering people, trust me, it will actually shine one day, and sponsors like Orange, like Safer Mobility, like Gloteo, like Casvita, right, like Transact. To be honest, if you look at Transact is a business that is just beginning. So for them to even sponsor an initiative like this, I'm really very impressed, and to be honest, it's just I really can.
Lead. In our last edition, we dared to make bold moves for business growth, and you showed up, ready to learn, connect, and transform. Now, it's time to take the next step at the 15th edition of the Shirlma Life Audience Show. We're bringing together the voices that shape Cameroon's business future, from unlocking investment potential to understanding the Cameroonian entrepreneur, from leadership lessons at the top to the real wins and mistakes of investors in Africa. This is where ideas meet action, where partnerships are born, and where the future is built. The Shirlma Live Audience Show, a place where we encourage investors to invest at home, help startups flourish, and inspire youths to lead.
Yep. So Shirlma has a very great show going, and she has touched the life of so many young entrepreneurs who are able to use her platform to learn how to start and grow their business. We just had to bring her on Iwing Marketplace chit chat to share with us some of the things that she's doing, how she's been able to get funding, what the Shirlma Show is all about, and I'm glad she's been able to answer some of our question on, what the show is about and how she's been able to get funding. There are lots of things that we want to share, but we try to keep it concise. So you can visit her website, The Shirlma Show, to learn more about what the show is all about. And you can follow their Instagram page, The Shirlma Show. You can also contact Shirley, if you want to partner with her, and be part of this amazing thing that she's doing. because she needs more people to join hands. This is a huge platform she's building. So thanks for coming back, Shirlma.
I'm sorry, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, this thing is technology. Sometimes it goes on and off, but I see you're using your phone now.
No, computer
Computer?
still. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us, what are some of the challenges that you have faced so far? I mean, just 30 seconds. Give us just one challenge or two. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So some of the challenges that we faced at the very beginning was also getting people to believe in the vision, right? So it's a big vision, right? So getting people to understand and to believe in it was also a challenge at the beginning, right? And even sponsorship, right? Getting sponsorship for this event also sometimes was actually like a challenge. It's true that we are very grateful to the current sponsors that are coming on board now, right? Because there are a lot of things that we can do for entrepreneurs. For me personally, the way I look at it, beyond even the show, there are a lot of things that I feel that we can actually put in place for them. A lot of trainings that we can organize for them, but I think we're not able to do that, right? And I also think getting investors to also invest in these projects, because the truth is that I actually agree with a lot of people that are a lot of investors that can be scared to invest in startups, right? I agree with them that these are very risky ventures, given where they are at this point. But the truth is that we should be able to risk if we want to build the kind of Africa that we envisage in future. There are a lot of people that are putting a lot of money in real estate, which I totally agree with them that that is a very safe investment, right? But the truth is that, please, I'm begging people, let them just reduce some of that money that they're putting in real estate and try as much as possible to entrust some of these entrepreneurs with them. And the truth is that it goes both ways, right? You have investors that are so scared to invest in this project, but sometimes you also have entrepreneurs that are it's difficult for you to trust them because maybe you give them small money today, something that they would have actually built trust with so that tomorrow you can invest in them. They don't. But I have seen a lot more entrepreneurs that are serious than those that are unserious. So I think it is time for us to be able to trust these people with some of our resources so that they can actually build the kind of Africa that we're looking at in the future, right? So I think when it comes to the challenges, and sometimes also some of the challenges are kind of like the team, right? The team,
Right.
getting people also, yes, that can work with you and that. But I still say, I have seen a lot more good people in Africa than the people that maybe are not trustworthy. I've seen a lot more good people.
So from your experience as an accountant, right? So for people that are, let's say, having capital and want to invest in this business, how can they be assured, to get, let's say, return on their investment or dividends? Or what is the best way that people abroad can invest in these businesses, like you mentioned?
Okay, so I'll just give you what we do for the Shirlma Show, which is not like that's the only way. That's just one of the ways, right? So basically, for the Shirlma Show, what we do is that we have actually created a kind of like a system where we put this money together and we register it under a single organization, right? We register this under a single organization and invest it in bulk in that one organization. Now you have a lot of these people. Some of them will want to be active, others don't want to be active, right? Which is understandable because it's based on your time. So those that want to be active, we make it in such a way that either we give them more shares in that company or we actually compensate them for the time that they want to actually spend contributing. But what I'm trying to drive at here is that if you invest your money in a startup and you don't have a system or someone that will be able to help you to control these businesses, then I don't really, I feel, I think, except maybe the startup is really great, right? So, but my advice is really that any startup that you want to invest in, try as much as possible, even if it means to pay a consultant. We have a lot of consultancy firms in Africa, in Cameroon, right, that will be willing to take some of these small businesses under their umbrella and control them for you. But what I commonly see is that if you want your family members, you only want to invest in family members, and that also becomes difficult, right? So I have two advices here, right? If you want to invest in entrepreneurs, basically, and maybe your money is not big enough, right? You want to first of all start by taking risks. Why don't you group up, right? So, for instance, what we do for the Shirlma Show at times is that we bring in 10 people who put in 1 million francs. And I have this example that I always use, right? That I say, yeah, we are bringing in 10 people. Truth is that we could still bring in 100 people who put in 100,000 francs each, right? So you see that to an extent, what you've done is that you've mitigated the risk, you've reduced the risk, and it's not very heavy on you. If you would have just taken 10 million francs and you put. But if you put that together and you don't have a system that you go and control the businesses, for instance, the businesses that we've invested in, every month we actually have to go back to them and review their accounts. But that's because we've been able to delegate a consultant, a firm that goes ahead and reviews these accounts with these people to be sure that the money that the investors have given is actually kind of like being used properly. But Ivan, I want to tell you, investing in the startup, it's a risk. So to an extent also, I always say that whenever you want to invest in a business, you have to understand also that it's a risk. And please, the pressure also that we sometimes put on these entrepreneurs is too much. Like you give them money today and you want them to start making money in 6 months. You give them money today and you want them to start giving you back money in 2 months' time. Please, it doesn't necessarily work that way. Because remember that when they're giving you back money, they are taking away from the business, of which they could have actually used this money to think in the business and grow the business bigger. So you see, we also on our part, as much as we want to invest and help these entrepreneurs, we also have to be patient with the money that we are putting in. And at the same time, we also have to support them, especially with support services. Right. Why do I say support services, Ivan? Because you see, like the marketing services that you came and taught those entrepreneurs. There are a lot of entrepreneurs out here, right, especially in Africa and in Cameroon, where we started the Shirlma Show, for instance, that they have very beautiful products, right? Beautiful services kind of thought of, either products or services that they've kind of established. But sometimes what is really lacking is the support services. So you have this beautiful product, but maybe they don't necessarily have the skill to market these services. They have these beautiful services, but maybe they don't necessarily have an accounting team to help them to be able to analyze whether the decisions that they made throughout the month is working. So when you're investing in this kind of businesses, I would advise that if you cannot, right, contribute to help them with these support services, please try to invest in either people that are knowledgeable that can help them or in a firm. Another mistake that we sometimes make is that we also go and hire people that are very low. I take, for instance, I believe that in a startup, you really need a chartered accountant to be able to analyze the businesses and give them kind of like analyze the businesses to be able to give direction. But because the entrepreneur is not yet making money, so he cannot afford maybe a chartered accountant. So what I advise is that's why I feel that even for us to grow as Africans, we really need to be able to work together. So because, Ivan, if 5 of you come together and you say you have 5 different businesses that you've invested in Cameroon, right? And now you see that maybe all those businesses need accounting services. You could hire one chartered accountant who could actually work with all these businesses and be able to train now the smaller accountants. But what happens is that you go get maybe like someone that is like an intern who cannot necessarily give you maybe like the feedback. It's good to start with them, but I feel that the consultancy services, and you should be able to, the consultancy services and those support services are really very vital for startups.
Wow, you've made some very good points, and you've identified like the biggest challenges that we are facing as Africans. Not being able to pay professionals to help you scale. I mean, I see so many people in the field, they start a business and then they somehow just go and sit. And when you tell them about advertising, they will say, "Oh, I don't have money. When the business pick up, and then I'll have money in order to advertise." Nope. When you start a business, you need a marketing strategy. Without a marketing strategy, without you promoting your business, nobody will know. And eventually it won't grow and you will not have any money and you'll be forced to close down. The same thing applied with having a CPA or a chartered accountant who can train you, give you all the data analysis that you need and the decision making to scale that business. So that's a very powerful point you've made. So in the last edition, the team that won, or the startup that won, what industry are they in, and how are they been able to use the knowledge they got from the show?
It's so interesting. Stella. So Stella was the winner of the 14th edition of the Shirlma Show, and she is actually into the production of charcoal, right? So because so most of the times, as I said, right, they come to the Shirlma Show with like an already established plan of what they want to do with the money. But after that, because we have some professionals in the team, in the group of investors, we have some professionals within them. So we had to go back and analyze the business to see how best she could use the money. So we're able to come up with a plan of action that she is very happy with it, right? She's very happy with it. And we've been able to, so right now, at the stage where we are, we've ordered for the machineries. So she's been able to order for the machineries because she wants to increase her production. Right.
Wow.
And I think she'll be for the next edition, right? So I even remember when you said that. I just remembered a few days back when she even recommended one of her friends to come see us, and the only thing that the friend could really tell me, one of the main things that the friend could tell me was the report that we prepared for her, how impressed she was with the report that we prepared for her. Because we really have some good consultants in the house that we try as much as possible, right, to use them to use them as best as we can, right?
Wow. You're doing really an amazing job, and I pray this show keep going, and it goes bigger and bigger, and more people put in money to help entrepreneurs back home or to invest, so we can have a vibrant economy, not only full of rooms to rent and Airbnb, full of different kinds of. So how can people watch this 15th edition? When is it starting? How can people watch it? How can people in the diaspora be part of this?
Good question. Very, very good question. So I think we are looking at a possibility of creating kind of like a link, or creating a link where those who want to watch maybe would like to actually join. Initially, we used to go live, but we discovered that we're being unfair to some people who used to pay to be in the hall, right? So the kind of like, okay, why don't I just sit home then and watch? But the truth is that experience when you're in their house is totally different. So this time around, we want to create a link where we can actually, those that want to watch will let us know, then they'll chip in something, not as much as those who are in the hall will chip in something, and they can be able to, they will be part of the event fully. Even their comments will actually be read out and taken into consideration. But honestly, I think I really just want to thank those that have supported us thus far. Yeah.
So what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned so far, with creating and running the Shirlma Show?
Hmm. Lessons, yeah. Interestingly, I keep learning every day, right? That's one thing that I must say. I keep learning every day. But some of the lessons that I've learned is that people are really good, right? That I think at the core of every individual, I think we all want one thing. If you're sincere with people, they see your heart, right? Even when things are difficult, it's necessary for you to come and clarify and tell them that okay, this is what's happening. So people just need clarity. People need to be able to be made understood, right? So they want to be able to understand you. So you need to be sincere. So I learned that people are really good. I've also been able to learn that like sometimes, especially in Africa, right, your expectations versus what you actually achieve, especially since I came back. So I'm also still getting used to this thing, right? So uh, as much as you're expecting, right, and you're building this empire that
Platform.
is in your head, right, sometimes you also need to be very realistic. You also need to study your environment. So you need to understand your environment. So for instance, like if you, I actually met one lady yesterday. I will not call her name because I didn't ask her if I could share this, but I met her with the son, and she was telling us some story. She was like, "Oh, the son went and studied in this school out of the country, and the environment is this. But since he came back to Cameroon, she's actually trying to make the son understand that the environment is not the same. So there are certain realities that you see on the ground. So what I've also learned is that when you go to an environment, it's very important for you to learn and understand how the people behave and be able to adapt, right? So my mom actually tells me all the time, right? So it's interesting how she'll be like, Shirley, don't think that everybody thinks like you. So you need to be able to understand that your way of thinking must not necessarily be the way actually other people think. And what I've also come to realize is that when you come also back, let me say, in working in this in our environment, I think you have to also be able to know that you need to take some time to train people, right? So you don't assume that they are at a certain level. So take some time, be patient enough to be able to train people, and that will come with some losses. Mhm. That will come with some losses. So you might
That
actually, and sometimes it's not small, right? Sometimes it's not small. Yeah. So those are some of the things that I have learned. And also that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how we say that maybe corruption, there is corruption, the people are bad or something like that. I think if you actually stand your grounds and you put your values in place, before you know it, people will understand that those are your values and they'll stick with you with it and actually appreciate it. Yeah, people actually appreciate values like when you have like let me say integrity and so on. People appreciate it. Yeah.
mhm. That is so true. So, what are some of the mistakes, just like one or two big mistakes that you've made throughout, running the Shirlma Show, and how you're able to learn
Yeah.
and fix it? Yeah. What are some of the big mistakes you've made?
Yeah.
Did you get my question?
Oh, the big mistakes that I've made. Okay, I give you one, right?
Right.
So this one is even just very common. So I'm back home and I'm like, okay, I have bought everything that I need to be able to start and everything. And guess what? I forgot that is like that something like you need it. It really goes back to understanding the environment, right? So let me not finish that one because it will not be appropriate for maybe some of the establishments. So I think some of the mistakes have really been trying to so coming being in this environment or kind of like starting a business and still feeling like I am actually in a corporate environment, right? Like I'm actually in
Right.
an already established organization. Or
Right.
sometimes having staff, right? Recruiting staff, and kind of like assuming that maybe they are as experienced as maybe I have it in my head. It's like I have something different in my head that I'm expecting, and maybe I come to realize that that's not what's there. And also, to be honest, I think trust also, like trusting people too, right? So
Right.
I have also come to understand that I used to have this philosophy that I still try to have it because it helps me sometimes. I don't want to stress too much, which is more or less like I trust people so much, right? I get to trust you unless you prove me wrong. But there is a little bit of now me understanding that, yeah, sometimes I don't necessarily just need to trust like that from day one. I need to do some, let me say, due diligence to be able to understand people a little bit before just trusting them, right? So over trusting has actually been one. And also not saying no. So, when you're running a show like the Shirlma Show,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of feels like, because maybe because I sometimes feel like maybe because of my personality too, it sometimes feel like you can do anything for anybody, right? So but now the thing is that the number of people that come asking you for help now becomes sometimes, in if I don't know the most appropriate word to use, let me just borrow the word, maybe overwhelming, right, with the kind of demands that maybe you have on the table. So I think not being able to say no in the initial stages was really like a challenge, because almost everybody needs a little bit of your time. So
Right.
what I just did, for instance, is that, okay, every week I tell everybody that bet for the main business that we do, which is basically digital marketing and communication for companies, right? Based apart from this main business that we are focusing on now, right? What I'll do is that I'll give one day in a week that is for every other thing. So if you come when I've already consumed my 8 hours, then I'll have to push your request to the following week. You see, so being able to say no and owning it, right, and owning it and being confident enough to say no. I used to think it was actually cliche when I used to hear a lot of people say being able to say no. It's like, but honestly, it's real. It's real.
Right.
You really,
It's very important. It's very important to say no. You're not mambo chocolate. You can't satisfy everybody. So,
yes.
for this 2025 edition of the Shirlma Show, how many entrepreneurs are going to be pitching their business? And when is it? When is the show starting? And what time?
Yeah, so we have so ideally out of all those that register, we select five. So we select five businesses. So five businesses are going to be pitching their businesses, right? And these five people, the location is Crystal Palace in Douala, in Aqua, right? It starts at 10. So because we don't only have the business pitch presentation on during the Shema Live audience show, we have other activities and we have amazing speakers. And this time around, we're actually going to have people like Dr. Sita. We're going to have Madame Patricia, Madame Sylvia from Orange, Madame Patricia who has been a partner with Price Waterhouse and is currently heading heading Dinka, right? So we have amazing partners that are also going to be talking to us on different topics. So, Ivan, my thing is always that entrepreneurs focus sometimes a lot on the product. It's great to have a great product, but at the end of the day, you need to understand business to be able to be successful. That's what I think. So we are bringing people who can talk on these other aspects, right, of the business now to 200 people. So we are expecting approximately or slightly more than 200 people at Crystal Palace on Saturday, and we actually have speakers that are going to be speaking to this approximately 200 people, in addition to the business speech presentation. And we also have some good entertainment, right? We have a band. To be honest, if you're in Douala or if you can come, it will really be a good thing to come, right? Because we have an amazing band also that we have invited. And Boy George, the comedian, he's always there, right? So the guy can make you laugh once you're like, actually just looking at him sometimes it's just funny to me. You just feel like laughing.
Wow,
So it's
wow.
really a good environment. We
That's
mix it
beautiful.
up, right? Yeah, we meet.
So when is it
Yeah, we're
again?
networking
When is it again? And
on the 15th
on the
Saturday.
15th, this Saturday. So for people who want to
Yes, this
come,
coming Saturday.
for people who want to attend it, can they purchase ticket or they need to just come to the location?
Yes, we have tickets at the location, but you can also purchase your tickets even online. So if you go to the Shirlma Show page, the Shirlma Show, you actually have how you see the numbers actually on the ticket that you can call or you can WhatsApp. Basically, I think yeah, you've been putting. Oh, thank you so much, Ivan. So this number on the screen, which is 6783 60692. You can either call or you WhatsApp or you send a WhatsApp message to this number and you'll be able to purchase a ticket. So we have a Momo number. If you're in Douala and you want us to deliver the tickets to you, because trust me, the tickets are very beautiful. Sometimes I like to deliver them so that you can actually see how beautiful they are, right? So, so if you want the tickets delivered to you, we'll be able to deliver it also to you, right? But if you want to also buy at the gate, so we also have tickets at the gate on that day. So don't be afraid on that day. If you find yourself in Douala and you want to come, you can also just come to the gate. And for those who want to watch online, so because Ivan is asking,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to ensure that we actually right.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I can't wait to watch. I wish I was there to attend. It's amazing. I love
I know.
initiatives like this that are,
I know.
changing minds, that are paving the way, that are showing people how things can be done and that there's no limit to what they can achieve. Clearly, you're doing a great job. We can go on and on and on, but I know, you said a lot and, we're glad to have you here on Iwing Marketplace. So, what advice first do you have for people in the diaspora that want to be part of the Shirlma Show in the future? Because I know so many people are going to discover you right now that have never known about what you're doing.
Oh, thank you very much, Ivan. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. So, what I say is that, as I said before, there are a lot of entrepreneurs that will need us to put our resources together and help them. And please remember that nothing is too small. If we put little francs together, like cents, 1 cent, it could actually make some huge money that can be able to assist us. So if you are interested in being part of the investors, you please you can contact us. You can actually use the same number to contact us and let's discuss because as much as we want investors, but we want to also ensure that the money we are taking to give any investor is from the right source, right? So we will not take any money from money laundering, we will not take any money from scamming or things like that to invest in a project, right? We love it so much, but maybe we will not use through the Shirlma Show to use that. So we try as much as possible to also understand the kind of business that what you're doing. Are you working or how do you make money? So we also need to do due diligence on the investor before taking your money to invest. And it's also always very important for us to also be able to take money from people that are not so much in a hurry to get returns. If you want to invest in something that you need returns in the next 3 months, I will really advise you that maybe investing in this kind of ventures are not really the ideal stuff. There are things that you can actually do to get money even today, tomorrow. I can give you different ideas for that maybe some other day, but not in this kind of ventures because these are people that we are looking at building with them for a while, right?
Right.
So what I'll say is that those diaspora, remember that you can invest in entrepreneurs back home, but you need to be a little bit patient, okay, with your money, right? And also, please, it's not just about the money. All those things that we've been able to learn by traveling out of the country, please, let's come and instill it also in the entrepreneurs that are doing great things back home so that we can also help build a better Africa for Africans by Africans.
Wow, that is amazing. It couldn't have been said better. You've said it all, And from young entrepreneurs back home that, have ideas, they don't know where to start or what to do to grow their ideas or even funding to, help them. What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, the one advice that I got and I always like to pass by is consistency, right? And another advice that I have for them is that it doesn't, to me, I think so. I feel sad sometimes when you start an idea and all you think about is money, 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 money. So it's like when most entrepreneurs, when they want to meet, when they meet, like, let me say, people like, when they meet people in an event, even like the Shirlma Show, all they want from day one is money. But trust me, I have met people who have never given me a franc, but they've been able to assist me in so many other ways. So I think entrepreneurs should be able to understand that help does not necessarily come in form of finance. What we should actually do when we are meeting maybe investors most of the times is to identify the things that you need to be able to grow. And when you meet an investor, meet them with the things that you need, not necessarily the money, right? And my advice also to them is that when investors actually also give you money, please and please use the money correctly. Don't take the money and start using it as if it's your personal money. Don't take the money and use it for some luxury trips, right? And don't take the money and start mixing it up, right? Try as much as possible to put it in what you actually ask them to do. The reason why I say so is because there are a lot of people that will take 1 million francs and misuse it, but forgetting that where that 1 million came from, maybe 10 million could come from that same source in the future. But if you're not able to manage 1 million francs that has been given to you because of someone's sweat, right? Most of the times, even I've been there. I know what you guys go through, right? To be able to
Right.
make money, right? It's
Right.
hard out there. So when they're giving you money, it's not because like they actually pluck it from the tree and they give you. No, it's because they trust you and it's because they believe in Africa. So as entrepreneurs back home, please let's try to be able to encourage those that are investing in us, those that have some trust in us to do better by building systems, by using the money correctly, and also by being honest. When people ask for accounts, when they have put their money in your business, give them. Give them. It's not like it's actually like a child. It's not like it's money that it's even offering in church, right? In church now they give accounts to people, right? When you give them money, so it's very important for you to give account to people that have invested in you. So that's my advice. If I want to have any advice,
That's a very good
consistency,
one.
patience.
That's a very good one, and that's not only for the young people back home. We need to call out people abroad. That make them feel like it's so easy out here, sending money with no accountability, or not providing the resources for them to grow. Because if you're funding your relative back home to start a business, it's your duty to give him the training, either coach him or find someone that can coach him so he or she to do better. So that's a great point you've made.
Thank you.
So
Thank
before we
you.
go, do you have any other thing to say? I didn't bring up the question, or do you have any other thing to say before we go about?
Okay, I'll just use this opportunity to thank everyone. I can call names. Everyone that has ever supported us in the past, the partners, the judges, the speakers, the entrepreneurs that have trusted us, the amazing Shirlma Show team that works tirelessly to put this thing together, and especially for this 15th edition. I really want to say a big shout out to the sponsors that we've had, right? Casvita, Gluteo, Camfu.
In our last edition, we dared
Give their name again. I just wanted to put
Oh,
this.
amazing. Yeah, you have Casvita, Gluteo, Cefao, Camfu, Transact, you have Orange, you have Hibes, you have Viva Coiffure, you have Yoga with Visual. So these have been amazing partners that we've had. You have Gabriel's accounting firm, like you have all these people that have always supported us. You have Speed and Clean, right? You have Speed and Clean. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for everything that you do for the show. Thank you for everything that you're doing for the community. And above all, thank you for everything that you're doing to make sure that we create a better Africa. And hey, Ivan, thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to
We
share.
were supposed to speak just for 20 minutes, but it got so
I
interesting.
was wondering.
It got so I couldn't just stop, I just wanted us to let it all out, so in the future, so many people can discover this and then learn from it. But Shirley, you're doing a great job, and
Thank
I can't
you.
even believe you don't even live and work in Cameroon. You were previously in Ghana and now Ivory Coast, but you make sure you travel to Cameroon, to facilitate all this. That is consistency, that is resilience, that is a lot of sacrifice. Congrats, congrats, and congrats to all you do. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay, guys, thanks for watching.
Thank you so much, Ivan.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please help us share this video so more people can discover about Shirley Munjah and the Shirlma Show. Please subscribe to Iwing Marketplace YouTube channel so you don't miss any of this juicy interview. And please reach out to us, if you want to advertise your business or if you need any marketing help. We are here to help you. And once again, this has been Iwing Marketplace Chit Chat, where we give the opportunity for entrepreneurs to talk about what they do so we can learn from them and we can support them. Please download Iwing Marketplace app or visit Iwing Marketplace website. You'll see thousands of business there that you can support and that you can shop from. Thanks again, guys, and we are out. Make sure to get your ticket. The Shirlma Show is this Saturday at, where's the location again?
Crystal Palace Aqua,
It starts at what time?
10 a.m.
If you are in Douala, don't miss the Shirlma Show. It's a place to network. It's a place to have fun. It's a place to, learn new ideas, and grow because they're going to be great speakers. So if you're in Douala, make sure to be at Crystal Palace this Saturday. Don't miss the show. Thank you again, and we are out.
Thank you.